Hey guys, it's Ashley with 3R Sales and Service. Today we're taking a look at the 5x8 single axle Blizzard package. This has a 5.5 gallon a minute pressure washer and a 12-volt soft wash system in it. So we'll go around the whole system and show you everything that's included and how it works. So starting up front here, we have our stack of 3 hose reels. So this is our soft wash reel, our pressure washer reel, and our incoming hose. So with the incoming hose, this is what connects to the house, and then that water feeds into the 55-gallon water tank that's inside the trailer. There's 100 feet of 3/4 inch hose here with the Flexzilla garden hose is what we use. We have 200 feet of the 3/8 pressure washer hose, and then we have 200 feet of the 1/2 inch soft wash hose. We've got everything quick connected, so it's very easy to manage. And then we have the fittings in the front of the hose reel, so everything stays nice and tidy, and it looks nice and clean whenever you're showing up to job sites, and just keeps everything nice and organized. Right up front we have our pressure washer nozzles, so that you know where to find your nozzles at all times. These are the hand crank reels. They're built by Titan, so it's an aluminum construction, and then it's got stainless steel manifolds in there, so it's as corrosion resistant as possible to get the most life out of your hose reels. I'll have you move in a little bit closer. Behind the hose reels, we've got 2 of the taller tanks. One is a 55-gallon water tank, and the other one is a 55-gallon bleach tank, assuming that you're using bleach for your application. And attached to those tanks, attached to the water tank, we have an incoming water filter. So that actually the water gets filtered before it even goes into your tank. And then we've got filters going to the soft wash system and to the pressure washer system to additionally filter that water just in case anything does make it through that first one. So lots of filters to keep everything nice and clean. Inside that water tank, we've also got a float valve assembly. So while your water is being dispersed into the tank from the customer's home or property, once the level reaches the top of the tank, there's a float valve inside that'll shut that water off. And then once you start to use the water again and deplete the level in that tank, it'll start to fill your tank back up again. So kind of a nice low maintenance way to keep everything moving without having to go back and make sure your tank isn't getting too low or overfilling. So the other 2 tanks that we have next to those is our surfactant tank, and we have an additional soap tank, so 2 7-gallon soap tanks. The one hooks up directly to the soft wash system. Your soap number 2 tank hooks up directly to your pressure washer. We have a soap injector on the hose reel. It is adjustable, so the soap can be pulled at up to a 20% ratio or all the way down to nothing. So you can turn off your soap injection at that injector as well. Here we have our 3000 PSI, 5.5 gallon per minute cold water pressure washer. Has a Honda GX 390 engine. It is electric start, so the key start is just on the inside here. You can reach it nice and easy, and the battery that powers that key start is right next to it. Very easy to change and easy to access. We have the exhaust pointing outwards here, so just always keep those doors open while you're operating your equipment to get fresh air in and keep the exhaust out. We have an oil change hose for the engine right at the bottom there. Makes it nice and easy to maintain the engine on it. The other thing on the pressure washer is we have it hooked up to a cool bypass system. So while you're using your pressure washer, you let off the trigger, the engine's still running, it's cycling the water at your pump. So in order to extend the time when you're off the trigger, we cycle it back to your water tank. Keeps an infinite amount of water running through that pump, keeping it nice and cool and protected. We've also got a bleeder valve on the pump, and that's used for when you're starting up your equipment. You open up that bleeder valve to get all of the air out of the incoming water line and to get the water all through the pump head. And then you close that valve back off, you start up your system, and it's a quick and easy startup. The wand assembly for the pressure washer, we've got hooks on the wall already. It's a 36-inch gun wand assembly. We'll move over to the soft wash system and kind of go over that a little bit. So it is a 12-volt soft wash system. It's 100 PSI, 7 gallon per minute. It's hooked up to a metering valve system here, so it regulates your water, your surfactant, and your bleach. These valves here, pretty much with your water valve, it's going to stay all the way open. So then that would be a 50-50 draw with your bleach, assuming your bleach valve is all the way open. The nice thing with these hydro mixers is that it includes the percentage of bleach that you'd be drawing, assuming you're starting with a 12.5% sodium hypochlorite concentrate. So it just helps you let you know that either you're applying at 1% or you're applying at 3.5%, just depending on whether you're doing your house wash or roof wash, or what it is that you need. We have the charger for this system mounted right on the wall, and then we've got the charger port right down here. So you can plug in your soft wash system from the outside. You can keep everything locked up and closed up, nice and secure, and then just charge it from the outside. Just need a 110 volt plug to hook it up to. As far as the soft wash system goes, this is our pump for it. This is the accumulator. The accumulator just helps with regulating the flow on a soft wash system. So we find that the pumps last longer when we keep the accumulator in those systems. The other thing I forgot to mention about this charger port is there's actually 2 outlets on it. So if you wanted to run lights inside here, just with 115 volt powered lights while you're doing any kind of service or whatnot, you can actually leave the light in here and plug it in and keep the door closed if you're on a job site or something trying to fix something so that the customer doesn't see it. Or if it's cold outside, if you're working on something in the middle of winter and you want to, you just need to do something in here, you can hook this up to lights as well, or any other 110 volt, 15 amp powered thing that you need. This other hose that's on the wall is our tank drain for the water tank. So it's a 3/4 inch drain. It's controlled by this ball valve right here. You just pull it out nice and easy. You can control where you want your water to go, and like I said, just turn it on and off with this ball valve and then snap it right back into place. We painted the interior of this one white. It reflects a lot more light, so it's a little easier for our technicians to service. So we figured that everybody else would enjoy a lot more light inside these trailers as well. The more light you can get, the better it goes. We've also got the protective flooring in here. It's like a gray diamond plate pattern. It's chemical resistant, it's slip resistant, and it really, really extends the life of the wooden floors inside the trailer. So in enclosed options especially, we try to get this flooring on all of our enclosed options, or some type of vapor barrier or a moisture barrier, I'm sorry, not vapor barrier, some type of moisture barrier. We have a couple clips on the wall for the dipstick assembly. So I'm gonna climb in here and kind of go over how the dipstick assembly gets used. So there's 2 different ways you can use a soft wash system with the bleach valve. So sometimes we'll have a flush valve right here, just to switch from bleach to rinsing, or we'll use a dipstick to do that. And the benefit of the dipstick is that you can also use your pump as a transfer pump. So if you're just doing your regular soft washing, you're gonna take your dipstick, you're gonna drop it down into your bleach tank, and you'll do your bleach application, your house wash, whatever you're doing, and then you'll take this dipstick and you'll drop it down into your water tank when you're ready to rinse, and that'll rinse out everything, including your bleach valve, your hose, your hose reel, all of that good stuff. If you want to go ahead and use it as a transfer pump, you would take your dipstick, you would drop it down into whatever solution you're transferring into this tank or into any of your other tanks, and then you would use your gun and wand assembly with the soft wash system to transfer that fluid into your tank. So this goes into your concentrate, and that concentrate moves into here with your wand assembly. So it kind of serves a dual purpose if you don't yet have a transfer pump set up, or it just kind of keeps us save a few bucks not having to put a transfer pump in here as well. The other hose that's on top of this bleach tank is a vent. So these tanks will expand and contrast with heat, especially with bleach. So we put a vent tube in here to kind of keep all of that bleach vapor out of the inside of your trailer and get it out through the floor of your trailer. So it just keeps everything from corroding quite as quickly. So we do everything we can to make these last as long as possible, make as much money as you can with these systems before you need to do any type of major maintenance. So other than that, the soft wash system does come with a wand assembly with the J-rod. I don't see it right in here. It's probably sitting on one of the benches, so we'll put it inside here before it goes into our showroom. But if you have any other questions on this, feel free to take a look at the listing at 3rpressurewashers.com. Again, this is the 5x8 Blizzard package. If you need any additional help, please feel free to give us an email or a call. Thanks.